Kaboom! Kaboom! I destroy coward toys!
Hello everyone. I don't have a name this week, but I am from
Clan by the push Gwingish go get a Quindrobble, Clan to Cilio go.
and welcome back to World of Fake Chieftain. Because this is not an actual chieftain, it's just a chieftain hole. It is the Clan Wars Operation Hurricane Typhoon Himmelsdorf Clan Wars campaign that we have seen for the last 3.5 hours on this channel for the last 2 weeks. At least from my side. And has been making Ice to Berlin and Cromwell Berlin videos because they are on sale, or were on sale at the moment. Because Wargaming is printing money! But that is beside the point. Wargaming can do whatever they want. It's their company, not ours. But we are here to talk about the Chieftain T95, a Tier 8 British medium tank, which is comparable, but not really, to the FE4202P. But not really. Now why do I say not really, but still comparable? Well, they're British Tier 8 medium tanks. And that's where it ends, to be honest. The FE4202P has lower top speed, but has technically better hull armor. Now hear me out. This might be the Chieftain hull, but the Chieftain hull is absolutely terrible. Everywhere is an auto pen. The back is 25mm, the side above the tracks is 50, behind the tracks is 38, but you get some spaced armor because of the tracks and spaced armor on the side, which makes it 44mm. And then the front, you have the lower plate, which is 100mm, but basically auto pen is huge. And the upper plate, shooting straight in the front, might bounce, but if you are looking down on it, 85mm of pure, utter aluminium foil. Now fair enough, the FE4202P also has 50mm of side armor, but 31mm of butt armor, which is still bad. But the front is so much better. It has no lower plate, or the lower plate it has is minimal, and its upper plate is so well angled, it is crazy difficult to pen actually with 50mm of armor. But the Chieftain hull is bigger. It's a bigger tank than the FE4202P. Now don't get me wrong, the Chieftain hull is good, but I expected more of it. I remember in my first few games, I just went in and thought like, oh, I've got the Chieftain hull, you can't pen me, and then they pen me every single shot in the front, and I'm like, but I'm supposed to be a Chieftain. But the upper hull, it's slightly angled downwards, is just an auto pen for almost everything shooting at it. And that's where I think the error lies in my ways playing this tank. I'm thinking I've got a heavy tank hull, which in reality it just isn't. So maybe it's just me thinking I'm a heavy tank hull, but actually it isn't. Therefore I'm thinking the Chieftain is worse than the FE4202P, but it is a hull that you can easily pen. So don't listen to what I say, just pen it. There you go, life advice. Just pen it. Tanks, that is, in World of Tanks. So what's better about the Chieftain T95? It has better aim time, better dispersion, slightly worse accuracy though, with 0.34 instead of 0.31 compared to the FE4202P, higher top speed, higher horsepower per ton ratio, worse ground resistances. That's the thing, I didn't notice that. It has better armor on the turret, 10 degrees of gun depression. So what is this tank? It's a hold down warrior, right? You think? If it wasn't for that massive cupola, where about 5 to 6 people are actually in there at all times drinking tea. And I will show you how bad this cupola is. Let's have a quick break in the actual game, where we're being capped and everything's going wrong, but everything's fine. I will show you how bad the cupola is right now. I was in a platoon with Mads and Simon, and this is Simon in his Chieftain T95. We all got the tank, and that is an OI aiming at Simon. Now the OI is probably firing high explosive, and just splash him anywhere and we'll do about 300 damage. However, that OI has the luck of the bloody Irish and shoots at Simon, hits him right in the cupola and pens it. You know why? Because the cupola is about 15mm of armor. Those big fat high explosive shells that KV2s and OIs fire have about 80 to 90mm of penetration. So it actually overmatches the armor of the cupola, and it is huge. I mean, that OI has had a bit of luck firing at it and actually hitting it, but I mean, that is a really a really bad cupola. So now this tank suddenly is not a hold down warrior anymore. It just cannot be hold down. That cupola is the first thing they see before you can even shoot at your enemies. So what is this tank now? I don't know. It has 10 degrees of gun depression, but you cannot use it. It has terrible hull armor. Its cupola is massive. And what is this tank? I just don't know. If this tank did not have that cupola, it would have been amazing, but still penetrable. Because on the top left of the turret, on the picture shown before, there's a small flat area where you can pen it. I don't want to say that is OP if it didn't have the cupola, because you can still pen it, but it would still be better. If it didn't have that cupola, I would say it's better than the FV4202P, better than the CDC, possibly better than the MUTs, because this tank hold down would be amazing. Now for the more keen-eyed amongst you, you would have noticed that I've been firing a lot of APCR this game. Now that has a reason. This gun, which has higher DPM than the FV4202P, has lower penetration. Instead of 226, it has 202. And that's bad. That's really bad in a tier 10 game. Even though Simon, Mads and me are top tier in this game, there's another reason I'm firing APCR. This was the second game we have played in the Chieftain T95. And after the first game, I think Simon and I got a second class mastery badge. And Simon said, hey Phil, race the ace. So I thought, yeah, sure, let's do it. And that is one reason why I'm firing APCR. The second reason is, I've already said, 202mm of penetration. However, the APCR shells only get 238mm of penetration, which is 20mm worse than on the FV4202P. So, wow, that is really, really bad actually. But there's another thing. During this patch of World of Tanks with this tank, the Chieftain T95 was said to be a premium tank when it was, announced as this is a reward tank, but it's also a premium tier 8 British vehicle. It doesn't make credits. At the moment, during patch 9.14, it doesn't make credits. However, when patch 9.15 comes out, it will make credits. So, firing APCR would have been justified. But now it is just a regular tier 8 reward tank that trains crews and doesn't make credits yet. So I'm gonna lose money this game because first I want to beat Simon in getting the ace, and two, I want to win this game. I'm spamming APCR at tier 6 heavies. I know. Now here I got a bit interested in the actual armor of the Chieftain T95. I can easily beat the Super Pershing. Easily. The thing is, I wanted to test something out. I wanted to test out the side armor when side scraping, because it has 38mm on the tracks, or behind the tracks, and 50 above it, but it has quite a lot of spaced armor in shape of the tracks and the side skirts. So I wanted to test it out on the Super Pershing. Now the Super Pershing doesn't have a lot of penetration, only 170, but so far, it actually seems to be working, which is quite interesting. And then Simon told me to just go and kill him and win this game, so I went in and shot him another time, and then the TVP-VT was like, mine! And I don't get to see this Ferdinand anymore because the SP1C goes in and kills him. And that is the Chieftain T95. And my verdict is, it's not great. It just isn't. Shoot it and kill it. Easy.